Hi everyone, it's Mark here. I'm the founder of the Arts and Culture Network. We've been giggling already here, it's fantastic. I'm joined today by Sacha, who is a new full member of our gang. And Sacha is an extremely good specialist accent coach. I don't want to steal her thunder because I know she'll talk about who she works for and what she's done better than me. But Sacha, thank you so much for joining us and for joining me today for this quick hello.
Hi, Mark. Thank you so much for having me.
So you're in Michigan and it's
Yes.
breakfast time, and I'm in England and it's tea time, and it actually really is tea time. We've done it. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Every extra person who joins us makes it all work so much better. It's great. This is an exciting day as well. I haven't quite seen anything happen yet, but apparently it's the 10th of May today. And apparently our LinkedIn group, which is 23,000 strong and with 100 people joining every day, which is fantastic. It's going public today, which means people who aren't members of the group will be able to see and react to our posts, which could have a huge difference. So we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully it'll happen at some point today. Anyway, I digress.
Amazing.
So let's have the Sacha story. Sacha, what fills your days and your passions? And tell us more about who would need to learn how to learn an accent.
Well, wow, what a great question. What fills my days and my passions? Let's see. We'll start off with that. I'm an artist, love to create. I've studied theater. I have a huge background in theater arts and in writing, performing arts, and producing. And so I spent the past 20 years creating my own work, and was lucky enough to travel the US, between Los Angeles and New York with a couple of my own shows in the past. And then I just decided that I've also been teaching as well. And I just decided that it was more fulfilling, more passion for me to cultivate the next generation of artists and to be a producer and to really be the person that makes the decisions. And so I really got into directing and producing. I was doing a lot of that in New Orleans for the past 4 years. I was a theater professor and also a producer at a theater company, an artistic director. And now I suddenly found myself here in Michigan, where and through that journey, I sort of fell into accent coaching. It was actually my thesis project at UCLA in order to graduate. It was one of our projects, and we had to teach an accent to our cohort. And I realized that when I Googled the Haitian accent at that time, there was nothing, and there still really is nothing out there when you Google how to do a Haitian accent. Now you might see my lovely face on YouTube. I created that lesson and decided to put it up on YouTube to help actors, just in case they needed it and found that there was nothing out there for them. And then I honestly just stumbled into that. Actors, directors, producers started reaching out to me for coaching sessions. And so my first play, I did a play, but then I started working with actors, and now I have clients that are on Netflix, Prime, that have done feature film work, lots of theater in between Los Angeles and New York. So it's just kind of taken a life of its own, and I'm working on a course because the industry is kind of small, and so when there are roles out there specifically for the Haitian accent and or other Caribbean African diaspora roles, I do get most of those calls from actors. And so sometimes I'm just unable to handle it. And so I created a course specifically for now, and I hope to branch out soon for the Haitian accent, and so that people can take it, have it on their own. And I do make it accessible where if they do need some coaching one-on-one, that they can schedule time with me as well. But yeah, and now I find myself here with Mark.
That's great. Thank you. What I love about that is the specific nature of what you're doing. And I had a call yesterday with somebody else who's joined our gang recently, and she's setting up a marketing, graphic design and events company. And I said, that's great, but you know, you may well struggle with, you know, the competition out there. And there was a marketing philosopher, and I think you and I might have discussed this last time, called Seth Godin, who said, find your smallest viable audience and become the best option for it. I had to listen to that twice. Find your smallest viable audience and become the best option for it. Somebody once told me as well that if you're a musician, if you've got 5,000 really dedicated fans who follow you on Spotify, you can make a reasonable living.
Wow.
Why, you know, so you only have to be famous for 5,000 people. There's also a conversation I had with people when they're trying to develop marketing strategy. If you're Walgreens, for example, presumably anyone over the age of 16 in the US is a potential customer, right? We have the same in the UK with Boots, the chemist. So that's why they do TV advertising. There's a guy in Australia who repairs Aboriginal nose flutes, right? And in order to be a customer of his, you've got to be in Australia, you've got to own an Aboriginal nose flute, and it's got to be broken. It's a tiny number of, he makes a very good living because he's the go-to person when that happens. So you've done something very clever and very similar in that if you're developing a reputation in the right community, I imagine that, you know, it probably happens once a week. Somebody somewhere is saying, do you know anyone who could do some accent coaching for us? Right.
Yeah.
And they'll say, oh yeah, you need to speak to Sacha if it's Caribbean or Haitian or African. It's probably happening. It might even be happening right now. But the referrals have worked so brilliantly in those circumstances because it is so specific. So I think you've been very, very smart doing that. So it's really kind of you to come join me just to say hello. What we'll do is we'll publish this and there'll be contact details wherever we publish it, and we'll do more. So, but in the meantime, Sacha, thank you so much for being a member, and thank you for joining me for this little hello.
Thank you. So happy to be here. Thank you so much.